What do you do to prepare for data subject access requests? That's what we're going to be talking about in this edition of Privacy Awareness by Privacy Proficient.
Privacy Proficient.
Have a plan for data access requests before they start coming in. Write down in terms of documentation what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, who's going to be accountable, what the processes and procedures are, what the procedures are, and the details of things like verifying identification. Determine your regulatory requirements and the appropriate responses for data subject access requests. So the privacy champion, whoever it is, maybe the privacy protection officer, the data protection officer, whatever the role title is, whoever is the champion for privacy for the company should probably work with privacy counsel or the general counsel to determine what the requirements are given the data that is collected and used. Now, this assumes that someone's done a data mapping, which probably should be done first. Something more fundamental that should be done in terms of a privacy standard for the company. So mapping all the data, taking a look at what data is out there, including marketing data, data for new product development, whatever there is in terms of data that's collected, that's personal data. Take a look at it, determine what it is and what the legal requirements are regarding that data, given the data subject access requests that might come in. That's something that has to be done, probably headed up by the data champion, what I call the data champion. Could be the data protection officer or someone else in a different with a different title, but whoever's championing the data protection effort in the company needs to do that. Document a data access procedure. Make sure you've got the whole route of the data documented. So a request comes in, what do you do with it? You're going to have to do things like verifying the identity of the requester to make sure that really is the person who's requesting the data. You're going to have to make sure that you understand what data needs to be gathered, what data is related to what other data, and where it is in the company. And you're going to need procedures to do this. You don't want to wait till the last minute because the time limits on a data subject access request can be very quick. So you want to write these procedures out ahead of time, go through them, make sure that they're clear in terms of folks who will have to act on these. Train your employees or others who are going to be responding to data subject access requests. Make sure they know where the documentation is. Make sure they know how to document each request as it comes in and how to process it and what to do with it. If there are vendors being hired to do the processing, make sure they are trained and make sure the training is up to date. Create a line of access so that any questions can be escalated up if they don't know the answers while they're processing the data, and regularly review the training and privacy awareness to make sure that the data subject access requests are being properly dealt with. Document each data subject request. Make sure that as that request comes in, it's cataloged in a database of some sort where it can be reviewed later to make sure that it was handled correctly. You're documenting the process for each request. In summary, here are the steps to prepare for data subject access requests. First, have a plan. Write down a plan, usually written at the aegis of the data protection officer or other data privacy champion for your company. 2, determine the regulatory requirements that are appropriate in your circumstances. Work with privacy counsel to determine the regulatory and legal requirements that are necessary. 3, document the data access procedure. 4, train the appropriate personnel. And 5, document each data access request and response. If you're a small business, what's the number one question you have about privacy laws and regulations? We'd like to know. We'd like to hear it because in future videos, we'd like to address what's most important to you. So please put your questions in the comments sections or let us know through social media. What is your number one question about privacy related to your small business? Thank you for watching this edition of Privacy Awareness by Privacy Proficient. Please comment on this video or post any questions that you might have below. Also, click like if you've liked what you've seen, and please subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss future episodes. Finally, please share this in social media or with friends or other business associates or others who might benefit from this video. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time on Privacy Awareness by Privacy Proficient.
Privacy Proficient.